So if you're coming to study in the UK as a student in September 2023 or are looking to move to the UK in order to work in the UK, some of the biggest challenges for you once you come over here is obviously opening a bank account. Now, obviously, I know one of the biggest questions you're going to ask me is, Nikita, why is it a big challenge? And if it is a challenge, what do I do to get around it? So today's video is going to be answering some of these most basic questions. I'm also going to be giving you a bank account which you can open right from your home country. And also, I will be sharing with you one of the amazing services that this bank account has now started. So if you are interested in this video, don't forget to watch it all the way to the end. But my name is Nikita and I make videos about moving to UK as a healthcare professional, getting your HCPC registrations and clearing those interviews. And if any of this is of interest to you, do not forget to follow me on Instagram. My handle is Physiotherapy in UK, and drop me a subscribe on YouTube. So let's get into that. So when I moved to the UK, one of the biggest challenges obviously I faced, like I said before, was opening a bank account. Now, the reason why I faced this challenge was that when you come to the UK, most of the UK banks will ask you for proof of identity, which is obviously your passport, but they will also want a valid visa, which is usually your BRP, and they will ask you for address proof in the UK. Now, obviously, when you come to the UK, you may not always have the option of providing an address proof, because the address proofs can either be a bank statement, which you will not have because you've just moved to the UK, or it could be a household bill. Now again, you might not have this because you might be renting out an apartment in an Airbnb or staying with your friends or family. So clearly you might definitely not have an household bill. So what is your way around this? Because this is something that is asked by most high street banks, that is most of the banks that have branches in the UK, such as Lloyds, Barclays, NatWest, HSBC, etc. So one way that I found around this was obviously having a bank which was digital. Digital banks have a little bit more flexibility in terms of documents. Some of the documents obviously that you need to provide as a bog standard would be obviously your BRP, your passport, and a sort of video verification. Now, banks like these obviously are Monzo and Starling, which is easy to open an account. But again, the key point is that you need to be in the UK because you need your BRP in order to open these bank accounts. But the challenge is when you come to the UK, you obviously need to use your card in order to tap for transactions, use in grocery store, access the transport links around the UK. And that is sometimes not possible just using your Forex card. And if this is a query that's on your mind, or if you are thinking about having a bank account so that you can be paid your salary for your part-time or your full-time job in the UK, I have a solution for you, because in today's video I will be introducing a bank that I think is absolutely brilliant in terms of opening its bank account right from India to give you that flexibility to get paid in pounds or to have those transactions in pounds once you come to the UK. So the bank that I will be talking to you today about is the iFast Global Bank. Now, what's the best thing about the iFast Global Bank is that it's a UK regulated bank, which is a part of the iFast Corporation. Another amazing thing about this bank is that it is FCA and PRA approved. Now, why is this important? Because these are some of the regulatory governing bodies in the UK. So I personally feel this provides you with some assurance in terms of the bank's credibility. Another amazing thing about this bank is that it is FSCS protected, that is Financial Services Compensation Scheme, which means that if you hold any deposits with the bank, you are covered for up to £85,000. A few amazing features about this bank, which I think are definitely worth noting, is that it has no annual fees, it has no subscription cost, it is no setup fees, and there are no minimum balance requirements. So that just means that you are ready to open an account and start with them irrespective of how much ever money you own. Now let's talk about what are some of the things that you need to do in order to open an account with this bank. So the first thing that you need especially is your ID proof. Now your ID proof could obviously be in the form of your passport or your Aadhar card. That's entirely up to you. The second thing you're going to need is your address proof, which is your local address proof in India. Now again, there could be several acceptable forms of it, so do check the website to get more information. And the third thing you're going to need is a bit of a KYC video. And once you've submitted all of these details, you are then good to go, because iFast is then going to check your application and get back to you, and that opens your bank account while you are in India. So then what you can do is obviously start having money in this bank account, especially if you are considering to come to the UK. Now again, I know your next question is going to be, Nikita, why should I be putting money into this account if I plan to move to the UK? Well, the answer is simple. When I was moving to the UK 3 years ago, the pound to rupee ratio was very different. So 3 years ago, the pound to rupee ratio was for £1 was equal to 95 rupees. However, in the present day, that is the day of recording this video, £1 is nearly equal to 107 or 108 rupees, which is a massive sum of 10 rupees. Now, if you think about it, that's just for a single pound. But say, for example, if I have to finance my education today, or if I had to find an accommodation today in the UK, it's gonna be 10% more expensive for me as compared to what it was back 3 years ago. Now, considering this fact, wouldn't it be wiser for me to have started saving this money in my Indian bank account and have converted it into a pound value? This is where the iFast has a really good service, because iFast allows you to hold your money in different currency because it has something called the multi-currency accounts. So as a part of the multi-currency accounts, obviously you are given the option to save money in different currencies. Some of the most common currencies obviously are one of the 7 currencies that are available, which is GBP, USD, EUR, SGD, HKD, CNY and JYP. And all of these can be done in a single account in your iFast bank. The best part is that you don't need to do repeated checks in order to access all of these different currencies. All of this is done with one simple, smooth application that I've described earlier. So like I said, again, as a part of this bank account, you can obviously choose to have your money in the multi-currency accounts. And again, there's no limit in terms of how much money you put. So you can choose to have some money in pounds, some money in USD, and some money in another currency out of the 7 that I've mentioned earlier. Now that we've covered this amazing bank account, let's talk about some of the other good services this bank account offers. So just a few days ago, I was talking to my one-to-one client who is coming to the UK right now on a student visa. But as a part of a student visa, she needs to start repaying her loan, and the amount that she needs to pay on a monthly basis is about 2,000 rupees. Now, if you think about it, 2,000 rupees can be earned in the UK in just a couple of hours. So 1 or 2 hours of work will give you, so working for 2 to 3 hours in the UK will give you about £20, which is nearly equivalent to that sort of 2,000 rupees. But one question she obviously had in mind was, Nikita, how do you think I can send such a small amount? Because obviously she is aware that if she had to send money back home, she would be charged certain fees and transaction costs, and she was worried about which method would be safe. At this point, I obviously went in and recommended the iFast Ease Remit services. So the iFast Ease Remit services are similar to the Wise or the Remitly services that people might have used in the past. I am guilty of using these services as well, because obviously I didn't know there were better options. But the Ease Remit service, I think, is brilliant because it doesn't have any transaction fee. So usually when you're transferring money from your UK account to your Indian account, some money is being taken by the bank or the service provider in the form of transaction fees. But as a part of the Ease Remit services, this fee is not present, which just means that more money reaches your Indian bank account and can be sent to those loved ones or to pay off your educational loan. Other than the no transfer fees, another thing worth noting is that most of the transactions to Indian accounts should happen within 2 hours, obviously keeping in mind that some of the delays might be from the local Indian banks, and also consider that there might be some issues in delivery such as bank holidays or public holidays in India. But that being said, another amazing feature about this bank, like I've said before, is the multi-currency accounts. So say for example, if you are going to be sending your money to India, say for example in a few days time, say for example you want to send about £2,000 into your Indian account. But today the rate of, the conversion from pound to rupees is maybe 105, and you think that, oh gosh, maybe in 2 weeks time the rate is going to be slightly better. So in that case, it would be better to save all of that money into your iFast account. Reason for this is whatever money is saved in those accounts is going to start accumulating interest, and these interest rates are really attractive at the minute, and whatever interest it starts accumulating, it will be given to you at the first of every month. So every month you will see that money sort of building up day by day, and that works as a really positive incentive personally for me, because I really enjoy seeing my money go up. But say for example 2 weeks down the line or 1 month down the line, you notice that the rate of exchange now for Indian rupees has gone from 105 to 110, and you decide that this is the day you want to do it, then obviously you can transfer all of that money using the Ease Remit services, which links in really well, because now you've gained additional interest from that money being in your bank account with the iFast Global Bank.
The foreign exchange rate for rupee is one of the best that I found. Also, when I did a comparison for the conversion of £100 to INR, I saw that iFast was within the top 2 or 3 highest pays in the market, as there is no transaction fees.
So now, if any of these features sound appealing to you and you are moving to the UK or the US in the next few months or in the next few years, then do consider opening an account with the iFast Global Bank. Now, if you are considering opening an account, I do have something worth mentioning over here. Do not forget to go into the description box below and check out my link, because what typically tends to happen is when you are trying to open an account, you also get the option to do a referral scheme. Now, as a part of the referral scheme, if anybody uses your referral link or your referral code, you will be given about £5 as a bonus from that referral. So that is why it's really important that you use my link in the description box below, especially if you are considering opening this particular bank account. Also worth mentioning is that if you have referred somebody and if they meet certain requirements, which is obviously listed on the iFast website, then you can receive a total bonus of up to £40. Now please guys, remember that this is a limited time only offer, so don't miss out this opportunity and go ahead and use my link in the description box below. If you have any questions about the iFast Global Bank or money transactions or saving up money in the UK, don't forget to leave them in the comments below and I will get back to them. Take care.